Hey guys, welcome to the Miracosta Filmmakers podcast. I'm Kim and I'm here with
Tim,
Jessica,
and we've got some good stuff for you today, although some scary stuff because I just found some messed up stuff on YouTube that we're going to be talking about.
Yep.
I saw some videos this morning that kind of scared the shit out of me as a YouTube creator. So basically, there's the COPPA Act, which was, I think, established before the 2000s, maybe the 80s or 90s or something.
It was April 21st, 2000, so it was 19 years ago. That's when it put into effect. Around there. And it originally, I think they posted it, or not posted, but they appealed it in 98.
Yeah.
So it's been around for a while, the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act.
Yeah. So basically, I have an article pulled up right now that says YouTube's new kids content system has creators scrambling. The government can sue them for thousands of dollars. So basically, there's this act that's being put into effect where for YouTube creators, we can get sued for up to $42,000 per video if we have content on our YouTube video that is directed towards kids, and if we have not flagged that video as this video is a children's directed video, if we don't have it as a children's video and YouTube or the FTC reviews the video and says that this video does have kid content in it and it's not flagged for kids, then we can get sued per video, thousands and thousands of dollars. And the problem is, the huge problem is that there is so much gray area when it comes to what content is directed towards kids. And this can affect all kinds of YouTube channels, especially from some of the biggest content creators out there like PewDiePie, Markiplier, and Jacksepticeye, who basically made their YouTube videos centered around streaming video games. And video games is a huge thing that people are freaking out about because streaming and playing video games is such a viewed topic on YouTube, to where now these huge YouTubers and even smaller YouTube channels are going to be completely screwed because the content of their channel can definitely be considered content that is directed towards kids, and they can get fined up to $42,000 per video if they don't have it flagged as kid content. So this is actually really horrifying, not to mention the fact that there's already
Nazis.
Oh yeah, it's
like YouTube
terrifying.
Is supposed to be like a fun and free place to just like upload your content and just be creative and do what you want. It's supposed to be like an escape from the censors of like TV and all that. It's like it's the internet, so you should be able to just kind of like have that creative freedom to just kind of like say what you want and do what you want. And it's but YouTube, they're like taking total control over everything.
People are freaking out about YouTube and the FTC hiding behind the idea that they're for protecting children's privacy or whatever. But it definitely, I feel, and others, I believe, feel that it's infringing upon freedom of speech in a way.
Yeah.
Freedom of like press in a sense, also like publication.
Yeah.
Because a lot of like independent artists they post their work on there. Like this is I wonder if this is actually gonna go up to like film like festival standards, because very often they post their work after they win or to gain following for those things. So that's gonna really affect people.
Yeah. There's a really great video that I was showing Tim and Jessica before we started the podcast, and it's what YouTube's not telling you about Kappa. It's from Ian Corzine, his YouTube channel. I definitely recommend you guys check it out because he'll basically spell it out for you. He's a social media lawyer, so he's read the whole thing front to back and done his research on it. So if you want to be horrified but know the truth, check it out. So yeah, this and not only that, this whole thing is going to be put into play January 1st of 2020. So yeah, pretty much the huge problem with this whole thing is that what is deemed child directed content, and that can mean anything.
Has YouTube commented on that or specified what that means at all, or have they just been silent?
They've given a general set of rules that we're gonna have to comply by, but the thing is, it's not really that explicit, I guess, or there's too much gray area, you know. They're not that specific as to what this means. Like, you can't have certain, I don't know, music or whatever. You can't have music directed towards children, which that can be anything nowadays.
Yeah, it's like if you just have like a few seconds of a music clip, it's like your entire video can get taken down.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
You can't have animation that directed towards kids. What the fuck does that even mean? Seriously? Like, think of all of the biggest YouTubers who actually have animation in their videos. And even then, people are panicking because, like, some people even have the word animation in their YouTube channel titles.
Well, I wonder what official companies, like Disney makes bundles off of, well, not YouTube ads, but from drawing people in from their YouTube videos and their movie commercials. Like, when you hear about a movie trailer dropping, it's from YouTube. You might get iTunes or, I don't know, IMDb or something like that, but you get pretty much most of your news from YouTube. And if Disney's just trying to, sorry, not Disney, if YouTube is just trying to purge that out, if they're just trying to purge out all kids content, what would a theme park do if they said, okay, you have to ban like cell phones, or you have to ban just something? You would stop people from bringing something in and then kick them out or ban them if they had done something wrong. That's reasonable. But in terms of like finding them, what type of theme park would find their own, like, okay, even in like movie industry or television, you would either get banned or you might get fined based on certain ads or if you break rules and regulations, but that would be from like, the FTC themselves. YouTube is trying to middle manage everything, and it's horrendous.
Yeah. And then when like YouTube does have like videos that actually are like fucked up and immoral, they like do nothing about it.
Yeah.
And then they target people who are just doing nothing wrong.
Yeah.
The worst is the ads, because I remember when that whole adpocalypse thing kept going on, and creators were getting less money, all this other stuff, but the same amount of ads kept playing. And not just that, have they started to do the ad 1 of ad 2, if either of you ever seen that, where it's like 2 ads now and back to back, but they're so often targeted to children. And even if, like, pretty much if you have a neighbor or if you've seen a kid with an iPad at a place or something like that, there's going to be a video related to that, related to what they like, because YouTube's algorithm works towards that. And even if they like something like Markiplier, it's going to relate to that. It's going to relate to a like they have, and not necessarily a kid like. That's another thing too. You could have someone that, a 5-year-old watching GTA videos. That's the other thing they're not getting at. Mm-hmm. But it's asinine. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous. And there's no true specification as to what kids' content really means.
And it all comes down to the argument that it's really the parents' responsibility of what the kids are allowed to watch and what they're not. So if a kid shouldn't be watching like PewDiePie or Markiplier or whatever because they think that's too inappropriate, then don't let your kid watch that. But don't be coming after the creator and making their stuff not, taking down their videos or whatever they're doing.
Right, and if you go on YouTube, if you just open up a private window, the ads alone and videos alone that you'll just see that YouTube provides. So if you've never been on YouTube, which is unlikely, but if you've never been on YouTube or you got a new computer, some of the first ads that pop up are just targeted directly to children, or that they're just cartoons. That's another thing too, is animation is so prominent on YouTube, and I'm just wondering what official channels are going to go through.
Oh yeah, it's unbelievable. Yeah. So who knows what the future of YouTube holds, and it is kind of looking horrifying. Not gonna lie. So yeah. All right.
Should we talk about highest grossing movies or films?
Yeah,
sure.
Just go through the list. It's on Wikipedia, I think.
Yeah, on Wikipedia. So far it's got, should we work down or up?
Up, down, down or up, down to up.
Alright, starting from number 10, there's, Minions is that?
Why did Minions do so well?
That's a good question.
Can we actually talk about why certain movies did so well? Because, people can look up movies coming out on their own.
I don't remember Minions doing that well.
No, I got it mixed up. Pretty much,
cash cow bullshit.
The Avengers make up over half of the top 10. Just starts with Age of Ultron, Fast and the Furious, The Avengers. The Lion King right now is still out, so that's at number 7. Jurassic World, number 6. Infinity War was number 5. The Force Awakens was 4. Titanic, Avatar, and then Endgame is still number 1.
Endgame just surpassed Avatar. I never saw Avatar. I know it's one of the many movies that I haven't seen, but
I haven't seen Endgame.
Me neither.
I really need to
I've seen nothing from Marvel. I never cared for Marvel at all. I'm probably gonna get hate for that, but
there's an interesting contrast to that too, where most people that are what about the other categories like that, comic movies and things like that? You don't really see much in terms of third party comic movies. You might get, it's still kind of DC Watchmen, or you might get Judge Dredd, I think that's what it was, or something like Axe Copper, some like comic or graphic novel adaptation. But kind of segueing into that, if you look at the Oscars and things like that, I haven't seen superhero nomination at all in categories, especially for Best Picture. I think, wasn't Black Panther though nominated last year, 2018, for Best Picture?
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'll check. Yeah, that, and no, just that. Yeah, that's pretty much all they had. I'm surprised. Was Endgame was last year, right?
Yeah, I think it was nominated for best. Yeah, it's Black Panther is now the first superhero movie ever to be nominated for Best Picture at the Oscars.
Yeah, I wonder what the people are going with Joker this year, and I really should see it. But
how much has Joker grossed?
It's now really surpassed The Dark Knight.
So what number is it at?
It is at over 1 billion 22 682 94. So yeah, it's over $1 billion. The Dark Knight, I think, it also grossed $1 billion, but it was $1,022 million. Dark Knight is just $1.4 billion.
Isn't Frozen one of the highest grossing movies?
Oh, that's definitely up there.
Joker crosses
15.
the $900 million worldwide box office.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The merchandise Frozen was. That's the thing about it, was they hit the nail on the head in terms of merchandise.
How is Minions above Frozen? I don't get that.
Oh, no. I got mixed up. So Minions is number 20. Frozen is 15.
Oh, okay. That makes
I was reading the wrong columns on there, but yeah, it's definitely going to be a weird Oscars coming up. But
wait, and didn't the second Incredibles movie do really well?
The second Incredibles is number 17 on the list.
Yeah.
It made more than Frozen.
Oh,
Oh no. Frozen's 15. Incredibles is 17.
So Frozen is the highest grossing animated movie, or is there one above it?
Let me just check real quick. Yeah, from what I can tell. Yeah, it is. It's at spot number 15 on highest grossing. Incredibles is the next highest one. And then Minions. So those are the top 3 animated films, and yeah, it's definitely that'd be a hard like drinking choice. Which one would you go with? Because like between like Minions, Frozen, like Incredibles 2 was fine. Like,
I liked it.
I just wonder what people are really gonna get at, like in terms of the viewing experience for like, you know, the Oscar movies or like nominated awards. Like what type of quality movies are we gonna get in the next coming years?
So officially, the Avengers Endgame movie is the highest grossing movie of all time.
It's almost at $3 billion, and that's ridiculous. That's like more than
in your face, James Cameron.
It's by the same. It's from the same Disney versus Disney to win against Disney. That's just what I. And then maybe against Warner Brothers. I don't know. It's so huge.
James Cameron, who beat his own record.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing too. When Avatar came out, he usurped his old record. You know what? Is he still making Avatar 2?
I think so. Yeah.
I wonder.
I heard that there was gonna be like a ton of sequels to Avatar. Like there was gonna be like an Avatar 2 and Avatar
5.
3. Yeah.
Oh boy. And that same thing with the other Avatar, The Last Airbender. That one was supposed to be planned for like 3 or 4 movies. And that.
Well, I heard there was gonna be a Netflix movie.
Oh yeah, so they're doing a series based on that, and it's live action. So they're remaking each episode with new cast.
Yeah, I hope they make up for like the shitty live action movie that they did.
Oh man, I just hope that like there's a lot of movies where there's race changing or role changing, and for me, I'm fine with, you know, like I thought Annie was fine overall. Like I didn't see
Annie.
Yeah.
Which one?
The
newest one, most recent one.
The newest one.
The one with Cameron Diaz.
Oh wait.
Please tell me you're not talking about that one, because that one's fucking.
Didn't they have an Annie movie with black people?
They had that, but they had another one. I'm getting confused. So I think there were 2 Annies. I could be wrong on this, but there's one
that came out in 2014. That was the most recent one, and it starred Jamie Foxx, Rose Byrne, and Cameron Diaz. And Cuban Zahan Wallace as Annie. I do not know if that's how you pronounce her name. I am sorry.
I think Cameron Diaz is a really good actress.
I love her, but this role is just fucking horrendous.
The reason why
I literally saw one clip of this Annie movie, and it was Cameron Diaz's I guess new revamped version of Little Girls, which she plays Miss Hannigan.
Oh yeah.
The all girls orphanage basically owner or whatever, and Miss Hannigan character does like a completely redone version of like Little Girls, the song, and I'm so sorry, it's just so bad.
Yeah,
I do not recommend it.
I don't tend to look at like musical type of films necessarily for the music. I go from bottom up. So for me, if a movie does something really, really bad, I just won't give it any points. And if it does a couple of really good things, I'll give it a couple extra. But for me, I mean, it's not going past a 5, but I'm not putting it as a 0, if that makes any sense. Like it's something that you can watch through. It's not a, you know, kind of Phantom Menace or, you know, Revenge of the Fallen. It's not one of those bad ones. But the reason I get into that is there are some movies that have really, really bad not bad casting, but they have role changes that have been at least controversial.
Yeah, because they only went for star power.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Exactly. Like
Pierce Brosnan in Mamma Mia. Just saying.
Oh yeah, or who was Will Smith's son in Karate Kid?
Jaden.
Jaden Smith. Yeah, Jaden Smith and that.
Which that's not even karate.
Yeah, and The Last Airbender. Oh man, that was there was so many things wrong with that. But I guess the most controversial one was probably Scarlett Johansson and Ghost in the Shell. That was pretty.
Yeah. Yeah. And then she also faced some backlash, I guess mostly for her comments, not just because of the fact that she was cast in a role that people feel should have been given to a transgender actor. And then she ended up saying some kind of like...
wasn't it transgender and Asian of descent? Or like something along that lines? Because I know that like the it was originally like an animated or an anime movie when they came out.
No, I don't know about that. She was cast as a character that I guess was transgender, and then people were pissed off because that role could have been given to someone who was actually transgender. And then I guess she made some kind of like comment on it, whatever, that people didn't like.
Yeah, there's definitely...
The Spirit, was it? No, it wasn't that. No, wrong one.
Wasn't it just Ghost in the Shell?
No, it wasn't Ghost in the Shell.
Oh, was it? Wait, what?
It was...
Because I remember the two kind of controversial movies around that time was Ghost in the Shell and The Great Wall with Matt Damon. Because not that the actors themselves didn't portray... Well, Scarlett had a little bit of controversy, but... For, like, Matt Damon, you're having this guy among a cast of Chinese and, probably Japanese extras that they had, but in this kind of fantasy tale of, like, monsters attacking the Great Wall, and there's a lot of problems with kind of whitewashing or race changing in certain movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, I don't know, maybe it's kind of along that that whole thing where instead of remaking old content with new actors or gender bent actors or different gendered actors, different race actors or whatever, instead of remaking old shit with new people, just make new shit.
Well, and the problem with it is, like, I think the reason why the most recent Ghostbusters hit a snag was it was trying to repeat as opposed to add on. If it was like they said, hey, we're the West Coast Ghostbusters or something like that, I think that would have been a bigger appeal. But pretty much when you do a remake, you're trying to replace. And for certain people, they might like a replacement because something's...
Well, who knows? Maybe not replace necessarily, but maybe add on.
Well, that's what people want.
Because it's an additional story.
That's what people want, is they want an additive or a side. They don't want you to take away their main course, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And, hey, would you like, chicken? Okay, here's chicken. Oh, sir, would you like to replace with a sirloin steak? Oh, yes, please. People would love higher quality foods. But if you take away the lobster and give them McDonald's or something completely different, and not to,
it's a good thing I don't like lobster anyway. So.
Yeah. Well, that's another thing too. Taste. That's another really big thing. Is just taste alone, because there's many movies out there that have changes, and some people just, have you heard about the Last Jedi screenings?
No.
So apparently, and it's mainly kind of rumors, but I just want to go into it a bit. There have been, like, early screenings of it, and, like, certain people have, like, walked out of it. Like, it's just been kind of going that, that weird. And I've heard about the reshoots, about how is it done filming?
Well, you mean The Rise of Skywalker?
Yeah, The Rise of Skywalker. Has that finished filming? Because they didn't say when they were done filming. That comes out, like, we talked about last podcast, right, where it was, like, a month, less than a month left.
Yeah, I have no idea if it's done filming.
Oh man, if they're still working on it, oh man, they must. If they're still filming, they're in, like.
I like watching Disney fail.
Yeah, it's really entertaining, but it's also really concerning. I mean, that's why disaster movies are so good to certain reasons. Like, even if the plot's bad, you can just see panic and not to go into one of those crazy, it is destruction anarchy, but no, it's really entertaining to see a scenario you haven't seen before. That's what makes disaster movies easier to sell. Is it's a high concept just because people haven't seen.
But not the movie disaster movie.
No, not that one. That whole franchise.
That movie was bad.
So was movie 49.
Oh.
Or was it? Jeez.
Talk about YouTube. Talk about YouTube. That is like the perfect movie to just show how
oh my God.
like messed up certain YouTube things are. 49. That was like, man.
Oh, dude, it's how? Oh, movie 43. Sorry.
Yeah.
God,
so
that movie
you
was
want to explain the concept of that movie?
I really don't know what the movie is. It's basically just a bunch of different skits.
Mm-hmm. So.
And it's, I don't know how the hell like they got all these A-list actors to do this fucking piss and shit excuse, like shit stain of a movie.
Yep.
I really don't know. Some people were able to like get out of it instead of actually being in the movie. I think Colin Farrell was set to be in the movie, but he escaped somehow. Basically, some of the most A-list actors are in this movie, anywhere from Kate Winslet and Hugh Jackman, Greg Kinnear, Common, Dennis Quaid, Will Sasso, Seth MacFarlane, Halle Berry. Oh my God, it's just, I don't know how this movie came together, because this Liev Schreiber, Naomi Watts, Anna Faris, and Chris Pratt. Maybe they were all blackmailed or something, or maybe due to like contracts with studios or whatever, they were like legally bound to do certain amounts of movies, like
Michael Myers.
And then maybe this was the only movie that they were allowed to do or whatever.
I think that makes most
sense. But this, I really don't know how this movie even came to fruition, because whoever wrote this is just a piece of shit, honestly. I'm not gonna lie.
Wasn't the concept of the movie that these guys are trying to find this video on YouTube about, I forget what it was. It was either money or sex or something like that. They're just trying to find this video, and then there's segues.
Are you talking about movie 43?
Is that wasn't that what that was about?
Movie 43 is a series of interconnected short films. Follows a washed-up producer as he pitches insane storylines featuring some of the biggest stars in Hollywood.
Whenever you have a script,
two of the writers are listed right now: Rocky Rousseau, Jeremy Sosenko. How did this shit stain come together? Seriously.
Thinking about this movie,
this is like horrifying. This is a horrifying movie if you really think about it.
I would love to see a movie, because I was just thinking about like all these guys are just pitching different stories. I would have loved to have seen a different movie and just call it The Pitch, where it's just a sports, like you get some type of A-list athlete and just have him try to make a movie. And just, you could either make it comedy or you could make it serious.
Yeah.
But you have them try to genuinely make a sports movie.
Yeah. This movie was just cringeworthy all the way through. Do you have any movies off the top of your head that you are so surprised they actually got made?
Okay, well, we could talk about anything coming out this week, but I wasn't surprised about Trolls. That was just bound to happen. We're gonna get a Furbies movie.
Are you serious?
No, I'm saying
oh my God.
If we're getting Troll dolls, Furbies are along the line, especially if they're doing that Gremlin
I love
reboot.
Furbies.
Yeah.
That was my childhood.
I'd be really surprised if, okay, I'd say the top three, like, niche or what's it called, fad-based objects that haven't gotten a movie. Weird Magic 8 Ball. That's gonna sound weird, but there's gonna be a movie about Magic 8 Ball.
I mean, all those movies are probably gonna suck.
Yeah, well, I'm saying those are niche things too.
Yeah.
Tamagotchis, like there's gonna be some guy that makes I'm gonna hatch my Tamagotchi egg, and then it comes into real life, and it's gonna be Detective Pikachu 2 or something like that, and then just Furby movie.
This is probably just one of these many movies that they're trying to make it to hit the nostalgia factor.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
It's just Hollywood, like,
trying to make another cash cow and to appeal to our nostalgia.
Or like just pulling ideas like out of nowhere and just like, oh wait, let's go through the list of these type of movies we haven't made yet.
I would replace Furbies with Cabbage Patch Kids though. That is something I could see them making a big.
Furbies are terrifying.
Okay, I'm going to take a huge step back.
They're like the positive version of Gremlins.
Yeah, there has not been a Care Bears movie, and that kind of scares me.
Oh my
because
God.
those were every year since they came out, and then it's just been silent.
Didn't they have like a Care Bears cartoon series?
Yeah.
And
they did.
I think that.
So they're bound to make a movie.
Yeah.
Off of it.
I'm wondering if like they went when Build-A-Bear first started to get big.
Oh my
I wonder
God.
if they went to like, okay, forgive me, hibernation.
Make a Build-A-Bear movie.
Oh, that would. Would they make it a real bear? Or would they make it Paddington, or would they make it just a stuffed toy animal? I could see them making a real life people building a real life bear, like in that type of.
That'd be terrifying. It would be like Toy Story, and they would all come to life. Like it would be like this is what I want. I want like, like some kids like going to Build-A-Bear and like stuffing their toys, and then they all just come to life.
You want Sausage Party mixed with Build-A-Bear.
Yes,
pretty much,
I want that.
Sausage Party, but with toys.
This video is going to get demonetized.
Oh my God. That's okay.
Oh, are you kidding me? We don't even have monetization on these videos.
Yeah, we're not making like any
money.
yeah.
Speaking of which, a little side note back to really fucked up YouTube laws. They also passed a policy where you cannot get monetization for any of your videos unless you have at least 1,000 subscribers.
At least 1,000.
And or over 1,000 or a certain amount of hours of watch time.
Really, I thought you weren't able to get a significant amount until you got 200,000 subscribers. So that's actually.
I can't remember how many subscribers, but it has to be over 1,000, which is absolutely fucking horseshit.
It is, especially if you're having ads play regardless. That's the other thing too about it. Your video should only have ads on it if you allow it with your consent. If ads are just playing, and it's like, hey, we're just gonna keep going. It's not like, I don't know, like it's not like YouTube is on this film reel and like you're just playing in between live stream spaces or something like that. It's not something like that.
Yeah, but back to movies. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh boy, there's a lot of trailers also coming out. So there was the Trolls one I was talking about, Cats, which not a lot of.
And they just had that Ugly Dolls movie that did terribly.
That's probably what people thought would happen to the Emoji Movie.
Yeah.
Is the same thing happened to Ugly Dolls.
There seems to be a pattern with animated movies. Usually the ones that have like the more and more celebrities in them are usually the ones that do badly.
Yeah.
When they try to get like a superstar cast, because like that doesn't work. You have to have like real actual voice actors do voice acting. You can't just like throw in celebrities and be like, oh look, we have this famous person.
Well, it's not just the talent itself, it's the actual story.
Yeah.
If it's a crap movie, people aren't gonna give a shit how many good people are in it.
Yeah.
Movie 43. If the story if the story is crap, doesn't matter how like big your star is.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if freaking Hugh Jackman or Robert Downey Jr. or Chris Pratt is in it. People aren't gonna fucking like the movie.
Yeah.
Well, can we actually tie that into genres a bit? Because I would say that's one of the most important things in marketing movies, having the audience figure out what the heck type of genre is this. And I would say one of the like better examples of like, because you'd want to like almost trick or swap your audiences. Have either of you two ever seen the Truman Show trailer, movie trailer, or the movie?
I haven't watched it all the way through.
So the actual movie trailer starts out the intro of like here's what was the main guy's name? Was it Stanley? Or like here's Stanley, and then it's like you see him like doing this greeting, almost like a sitcom type of greeting neighbors, all this stuff, and then this huge the trailer just sound and everything stops when this light drops from the sky, and then you learn that it's all a set, everything's fake, except he doesn't know it. So it's one of those world built around you type of Matrix type of movies. I'd say that's like a precursor to the Matrix almost, if you think about it. Not cyber, to that extent, but it is kind of interesting how commercials are marketed, because it swaps from like almost like a weird comedy satire to just like a drama pretty quickly. And like overall, I'd say the trailer does capture the movie pretty well. Have you two seen a trailer that just hasn't really resonated well with you, or that just does like almost misadvertised?
Come back to me on that.
All right. We could also talk about upcoming. Why don't we just review like some movies this year, like some big hitters? Like we saw Joker came out.
I still haven't seen it.
I know. I really want to see that.
Terrible.
I saw it twice.
Twice. Oh man, that's a movie that's
Jump
just gonna make
out
money. Knives Out. Is that out? I think that's out.
What is that? Is that a horror movie?
It's like
it's a murder mystery.
Yeah. Do you know like
great cast?
Agatha Christie or Clue or I guess you could even say Guess Who in a sense, where it's just like them trying to guess who
killed
who
the
done
dude.
It. Yeah, who killed?
It's basically Murder on the Orient Express, but in a mansion.
Yeah.
You gotta figure out who killed who.
I really want to see The Lighthouse. That's just a movie that just really. It's different. It looks different, and I wonder how they go about doing it. Now, I can see that movie not doing well because of
The Lighthouse?
Marketing, and also it's a little bit more of a kind of indie movie. I'm not saying like indie independent developer, but it's not huge brand making it.
I want to see Frozen 2.
Did that just drop?
Yeah, I'm seeing it on Thursday.
Oh, nice.
There's that Judy Garland movie.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah. Oh, what did you think of that?
It was good. I mean, it wasn't like the best movie in the world, but like, yeah, it was pretty good.
I actually saw Judy Garland's grave in person back in May. Went to LA for a psychology seminar, and it was fantabulous and really heartbreaking at the same time. Yeah. But she's resting somewhere beautiful.
A heartbreaking, a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Yeah. I wonder how Tom Hanks is gonna really do wait, that one's not out. I'm pretty sure that one's
the Mr. Rogers.
Yeah, that one's not out.
Yeah, beautiful day in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
You see, the actual line is, it's a beautiful day in this neighborhood.
Yeah.
It's the Mandela effect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh man,
that's also coming out.
Yeah, that's also a movie that's like, it looks like, okay, so there were two times I was fooled into thinking like a fan movie was like a real movie, and it was when that Zelda trailer by IGN dropped, and when the Revenge of the Mask trailer, if either of you have seen that.
Which Zelda trailer are you talking about? For Breath of the Wild 2?
No, it was the IGN. They did it years back, where it was the April 1st, April Fool's Day trailer, and pretty much it was like, that one.
Those dicks.
Yeah, but that like
ruined. That broke my heart. It wasn't real.
It really messed with me in certain ways, that you can't talk about on YouTube. But going back to it, man, I lost my train of thought. What was it? We were just talking about Mr. Rogers. We were talking about the two. Oh yeah, so those two movies.
Nice recovery.
So the Mandela effect. That was a reverse effect where I thought this was like a fan film, but then it's a real like publisher one. I'm sorry, you can tell how good a movie is sometimes by the camera quality, and that everything's shot dark. You saw the trailer, right?
Yeah.
Did you see the trailer
for
Mandela effect?
Not yet, no.
Oh, okay. Everything looks like it's. Even the scenes in the day, like, I'm sorry, that's another problem that the Invisible Man movie has. Even in the day, everything looks dark. And I know that horror movies can get away with it more because it's like a Psycho Hitchcock effect where they're trying to make it look almost black and white. But when you have actual genuine color in a movie and then you're making it darker, it just makes the film quality worse. It literally just makes the film quality worse because you're not gaining like certain vibes and colors that actors have in them. So it's almost like you're just taking an A-list actor and you're just kind of slowly degrading their image.
Unless that's what the director wanted.
Well,
and it I don't know, maybe I haven't seen the trailer yet, but who knows, maybe that's exactly what they're going for.
Tell me if you think it looks like it's a fan film, because for me it looks like a high quality fan film in a sense, but but it's still like the acting. Like there's one scene where they're holding up a book, and it just really does fall apart. Where it's like whoever's doing the camera, like the cinematography. I'm just wondering what was going through their mind.
Or do you think it was shot with a different camera, not in?
Yeah, that's the other thing too. Is I think they use different cameras for different scenes, which can be an interesting movie in its own right. Like have a movie about people that view things from a different perspective. Mm-hmm. But it just looks narratively bland and aesthetically. I don't see appeal. That's a problem with it because there's not really a high concept that really can drag me into it. But yeah, I mean, I guess the two best, genre movies would be like horror and comedy because they're just so stark contrasts. You can either laugh or you can be scared. Those are like the two safest bets.
Yeah.
Those are probably my two favorite genres of movies. It's like whenever I want to go see a movie because I'm bored and I like look at all the movies that are out, I either go with like the comedy or the horror that's out.
Well, because the problem with action is it tends to blend between one of those two. You either have an action horror like Jaws, or you would have an action comedy like a superhero movie. There's not really just a pure action movie because that's like a pure sugar food. If that makes any sense.
Excuse me. Yeah.
Any other thoughts?
Oh, I'm good. We're at 41 minutes. You want to
wrap it up?
Yeah. All right. Well, that was fun. I'm Kim.
I'm Tim.
I'm Jessica.
And we hope you enjoyed that. And we will see you in the next one. And we have another. We have a note that I want to do is that I've been having trouble trying to find people to do the podcast with on Mondays, and I think it's going to be kind of boring if I do it myself. So we're just going to stick to doing Friday podcasts only because Jessica and Tim are usually available on Fridays. So we're just going to stick to Fridays now. So yeah. All right. Hope you guys enjoyed that, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.
Bye.
Bye.